Welcome, everybody, to Catfish Weekly, presented by Whiskerware Apparel. We are in Quincy, Illinois, at the beautiful Oakley Lindsay Center at the Fishing for Freedom tournament, and I have Bob Havermill with me. Bob is the originator of the Fishing for Freedom Quincy event that goes on here every year. And Bob, thank you for joining us on the show.
Welcome. More welcome.
We have been coming up here, Cindy and I believe this is our 5th year, I believe. And every year it just grows and gets bigger and better. And it's just an amazing event, and everybody has such a good time. And from the motels to the restaurants, everybody's glad that the people come in here, and it's just worked out to be just one of the largest, if not the largest event in the United States of this kind.
I believe it's second largest in the nation right now.
That's just wonderful. There's a lot of warriors here this year.
I heard almost 300. So
that's amazing, and they're from all over the United States, pretty much.
All over. Yep.
Well, it's a really good deal that the boaters come out in the numbers that they do, and I think just about all of them have a ride this time.
I believe so, and they've actually worked it out where the guys that can't get in a boat are going to be taken to lakes and fishing.
That's outstanding. Would you mind explaining a little bit how you put all this together originally?
Well, I was asked. I'm a bass fisherman. Sorry,
that's okay.
But I was asked in a Missouri club to go help volunteer boaters in western Missouri over on Warsaw Lake. Okay, and in Warsaw, Big Bass Truman Lake. Okay, and I went over there for this Fishing for Freedom event that they had. It was their 3rd one, and I got hooked up with seen all the wounded soldiers coming back, got hooked up with some really good guys, and found out just what it meant to them, and moved me so much. I came back, and the next day told the wife and gentleman who works for me, I said, we're going to start one of these in Quincy. And my wife says, "You're on drugs." I said, "No." I said, we're going to get it done. She goes, "You know what the magnitude of this is?" I said, "We'll get it done." And I started getting people together and went on TV, and everybody's going, "What the heck's the Fishing for Freedom?" Well, I mean, we don't know what it is. Is it a bass tournament? What is it? And we got great committee people on board. You know, a lot of these people are original committee people. Mindy, a bunch of them have been here a lot of years. And we kind of got it underway the first year, let them get a taste of what it is. And after they got that done, they kind of thought, okay, we got the concept now, so now we know what it is. We went from 77 warriors on the first year to about 140 on the second year.
Wow.
The second year, we had a general show up in uniform and had all of our Vietnam vets stand up. We gave them a certificate of appreciation, told them welcome home. We had the 399th Army Band here performing, and from that point on, it just kind of just took off. And Quincy's blessed with being able to have great volunteer people who don't give a crap about, they're not in for it for themselves. They're into what can we do to show these soldiers what we're doing.
And that's the way it should be.
Is absolutely. And these events have just changed multiple people's lives. And I mean, I can tell you stories of a guy of a Vietnam vet that on the second year, I dogged him big time to get his boat here to help. And he just wouldn't do it, and I got him to do it. He happened to be here when the general was here, gave him a certificate, welcome home, and his wife came over to my business about 3 weeks later and says, "What'd you do to my husband?" And I said, "Why, I don't know." And she says, "Every night for 30 years, he woke up screaming. Every night. And ever since this event, he slept through. And at Christmas time, she brought me a plate of cookies and says, I have a new husband. His uniform, his flag, ribbons that I knew nothing about are up in his man cave." So, little bitty things make a difference to people.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what this is all about. It's not about how many fish you catch,
no,
how big the catfish is, how big the bass is, or how big tropic. It's about the friendships you're going to establish here with these soldiers are lifelong.
Absolutely. And we have visited with some of the people that we have seen year after year after year up here, and they know who you are. They know that you're going to be here. They're looking forward to seeing us as much as we're looking forward to seeing them. And guys like Daniel Kennedy and our buddy here, I see them last year and the year before, and several others. And we're excited about coming up here. And one every year we get a different boat or bit different warrior. Now we had the same one 2 years in a row, but for the most part we get a different one. But you remember the other ones, and
Absolutely.
they remember you. And if we get them again the next trip, that's great.
Right.
And if we get a different one, we got a lady this time. We're really excited about that. We've never had a lady in the boat with us before, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. It's a great event, and like you folks coming up and helping us. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's this dinner. We had a really good meal last night. Now we really did, but this dinner that they put on here and feed all the boaters and all the warriors, this is quite an undertaking.
It is. It is. And
So
we kind of offset it. The good thing is that we've been very fortunate that we're in a community where they support our heroes and our warriors.
mhm.
And we don't run deficits on this thing. We're able to give back as much as we can to these soldiers. It's just what we do.
That's the way it should be. And I know that there is a few more of these events around the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Not nearly enough, but there's becoming more of them all the time. And if people would sit back and look and see what you guys have done here and use that as a model, maybe we can get some more of this stuff going like it needs to be done.
Well, the thank you to our soldiers goes 10,000% over what they could ever expect. Just
Absolutely.
a thank you.
Yep.
And these guys, I've got friends that come in now for 7 years also, soldiers that will be here. They'll be looking me up. I've had Marines from Camp Lejeune come up here again. He's here again this year.
Oh, wow.
For 7 years straight, they have been here driving up, bringing their boats up to take people out.
That's just, there's no words that can
No.
describe it. Yeah, and for us, we've had two sons that was in the military, and nephews and nieces and friends of the family, and it's really important to us. And none of those come up,
Right.
but the other people fill in and take the place of not having those guys here. And maybe one of these days, one of our kids or nephews or niece or somebody say, hey, I want to jump in the boat with you
Mm-hmm.
and go to this event. But if they don't, I know there's going to be someone here that will be just as happy to take out.
Oh, yeah.
And if the lady we take out tomorrow has as good a time as we're going to have, then it's all good.
I had my first boater in one of these events in Western Missouri was Command Sergeant Major, and he had just got back from Iraq and was telling me his stories. And as we were fishing, he says, Bob, he says, just being able to do this again, hunt, fish, just anything for a weekend. He said, you don't realize how much we miss that, how much we miss that. And I said, well, Mike, this is why we're doing what we're doing. So we're going to do it for a whole bunch of people and continue to do it too.
That's really cool. And you've got trucking companies and motels and restaurants, and I don't know how many supporters that helps you with this event, but it appears to me like if they have a business in the Quincy area, they're involved with this.
Oh yeah, yep, it is. And there's a lot of groups that are spurring off of this too. So now you've got some other guys groups that are starting deer hunts. I've actually not involved with this. I after ran it for the first 3 years, got it underway, and then I kind of help them out in the background if they ask me. And then I actually take wounded soldiers actually deer hunting now at my farms over in Missouri. That's what I do.
That's outstanding.
And I've got people coming up from Guantanamo Bay, from Kentucky, from Fort Hood. I mean, these guys drive up, and I put them up in my different farms for about a week on deer hunting.
Man, that's just a great deal.
So,
great deal.
Anytime I can give them back,
That's really neat. Well, listen, thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you for all your help.
And would you explain to us about our table back here? A lot of people don't know what that is.
That is the missing man table is what that is. There's actually a ceremony that they'll perform, and they'll explain what each item is on the table. And I'm not the person that I'd have to read it off and look like a real dummy, but I've got some Marine friends of mine that are here. And we've been doing this since day one at the event because we want our fallen soldiers to know that they're part of this event as well.
Absolutely.
And that's what that is. And that's just for the memory.
This is a very heartwarming event when they come to this part of the show, if it don't hit you a little bit, there's something wrong
It
with
does.
you. It does. It really gets you.
Well, and I told you earlier, I had a Marine that came up from Camp Lejeune on the second year, and at the end of the night, he was in tears because the general finally welcomed him home and said thank you. And he says, I waited 35 years for somebody to just tell me thank you and welcome home, and
That's
that's all.
amazing.
That's all we're doing.
That's it.
That's it. It doesn't take much. 2 words of thank you for your service, and how can we give you a weekend back?
And there's so many people that forget how important that is.
Well, we don't have any freedom without these guys.
That's exactly right.
So, as much as I can, and thank you for helping us out.
Anytime.
Appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you, sir. We'll be talking to you soon.
Sounds good.
Bob Havermill, the original guy that started the Fishing for Freedom Quincy event several years ago, and it's turned out to be just one of the biggest deals going. We have Nick Wolf and Nick Harding. Hi, fellas.
How's it going?
Going good. How you doing?
How you doing?
Not too bad. Are you guys ready to catch some fish?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Have you found some fish?
we found some fish last night. I don't know if we're gonna be there tomorrow because we already cleaned them up. But
Now, are you guys fishing for catfish or
we're
are you
fishing for flatheads.
For
Or
flatheads.
We're using live bait.
sweet?
That current's pretty rough right now. There's a lot of trash where we're at.
There is a lot of trash.
A lot of, I don't know. I should say more like floating beaver huts floating down right now. But
We was out for a little while this morning. We run into some pretty good sized tree limbs.
Yeah.
Some of them was yay big around. There's some pretty rough water out there, but if you're careful, everybody will be fine. And there's a few fish around.
I'd say we'll have something in the boat.
There we go. Are you excited?
Oh yeah,
This year, how many years?
it's my third year.
Third year. You always fish with Nick?
Yeah,
All right. Good deal.
had a great time my first year out with him. So I always ask to be back with him.
That's cool. That's the way it needs to be. Is you guys must evidently get along really good.
We get along fine. He ain't thrown me out of the boat yet. He hasn't told me I was a terrible guide yet. So we haven't had it. Well, we did get a plaque one time, didn't we? I've been doing it for this is my 6th year. The first year they had it here, it was just bass fishing. So I really didn't. I'm not a bass fisherman.
Me either.
And we were sitting around one day in the afternoon, and somebody was talking about the Fishing for Freedom, and I was like, "Well, what the hell's the Fishing for Freedom?" And they went and elaborated into it a little bit. I said, "Well, let's go down and check out the weigh-in." And a good buddy of mine, Jeremy Sanders, was fishing it with a good friend of mine from high school, Derek Jennings.
Mm-hmm.
And
Know them both. Know them well.
They had a 30-some pound blue, and I'd called Jeremy before they even come through the weigh-in line. And I said, "Did you catch any catfish?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a bass tournament though. We're not going to win anything." But he said, "We got a couple nice blues." So, and then the next year they opened it up to the catfish division. So then that's what set her on fire.
I think it is.
I mean, you're sitting in the Mississippi River and bass fishing. I'm not saying no, every fishing's good fishing, but I mean, bass fishing on the river is kind of tough. And when they said that you could start catching catfish on the river, I think you opened a lot of eyes real quick. There was a lot more volunteers, as myself, plus with everybody else, to take more people out because you got more people fishing for catfish on the river than you do bass. So,
are you basically a cat fisherman, or do you fish for everything?
I fish for everything. Probably my go-to would be crappie.
I like that.
So, but it's a whole different world when you get over here on the river.
It is, and we do this show every week, and I try to explain to people the Mississippi River and Missouri River, and they kind of look at you like there's something wrong with you. But the Mississippi River and the Missouri River is something like most people ever seen before.
Yeah.
And right now it's really high.
Right.
And there's probably what I'm guessing 4.5 mile an hour current.
Oh yeah.
At least.
Yeah, it's pushing that real close on just on a normal spot without any kind of wind dam or nothing.
Right. Yeah. If you get off the tip of a wing dam, it might be.
I couldn't even imagine what it is behind dam right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, I was up there today. It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
It's pretty
8,
hot.
9.
Probably 7.
Yeah.
It's pretty warm, but there's some bait around. There's a lot of there's some fish to be found, and it's just like bass fishing. If you can get them to go, you're gold. If you don't get them to go, you're not going to do too much. But it's going to be a good time, and I'm quite sure you guys are going to have a blast whether you catch any fish or not.
Oh, we will. We do every year so far, and it was kind of funny last night. Me, him, and Daniel, we went out and fishing, and they're always so appreciative, thanking me and everything for it. And I got told him, I said, we just keep doing this every year until one of us,
Can't do it.
kicks out.
That's right.
I mean, until then, I said, I look forward to it just as much as they look forward to
Oh, yeah. Now, I'm assuming you're talking about Daniel Kennedy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That gnome guy, guy
Yeah,
looks like one of the little gnomes.
Now, it's a crying shame that he fishes with Joe Lucky every year. It really is.
He needs a guy with the last name Lucky for one. I mean, if he don't have that, I don't even think it's worth for him to get out there.
Had I known you guys was out and hadn't been quite as tired as I was last night for driving up here, I would have took Daniel out for a little ride in the old Monster Cat and let him rip and snort a little bit.
Yeah.
He'd have probably enjoyed that, but I'm afraid Joe'd be all mad at me if I take him out and show him how to fish.
I'm sure he would. Hear that? He's going to tell him to take a notepad with him.
Yeah, he probably would. Them guys. Joe is such a great guy, and he's a ton of fun, and he's one of the greatest fishermen from the Midwest. Him and his dad fished together a lot, and his brother and Mark Farrell, they fish together a lot, and they're just really, really tough competitors, and they make it over here every year, just like a lot of us do, and are happy to do the event, and you got to deal with them if you're in this tournament. You're going to have to beat Joe Lucky and Mark Farrell, them guys, and of course that's all our goal, just to win. But if we don't, if we have a good time, I'm quite sure everybody be happy.
This tournament sets itself aside because there's no money involved.
That's right.
It's to have fun, so it makes it a lot easier. The competitiveness is always there in anybody that competes for anything, but everybody wants to win. But just being able to get him out there and knowing he's having a good time, that's all I care about. That's like last night. You guys want to go to the bar? You want to go fishing? You tell me what you want to do. This is your weekend. I've taken it off and given it my time to you. Let's do whatever you want to do.
You betcha.
Of course, they want to go fishing. I was ready to go to the bar, but we went fishing.
I have to say, this is the first time that I've ever been to a motel when they left me Budweiser in my room.
What hotel's that?
Microtel.
Oh, you ain't staying there.
No.
Oh.
It's pretty special.
We didn't get that last year.
I saved them for you if you want them. But the whole town's like that. This whole place is really amazing at the way they go out of their way to make this event as big and nice as it is, and we're excited. From the time we leave here tomorrow, and I know you guys are the same way. When we leave here tomorrow, looking forward to being back in 2018.
Right.
And that's the way it should be.
It makes me feel good as a person.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
So, but yeah, we're always ready to go back.
You bet.
I mean, this event, you start, and we stay in contact throughout the, the rest of the year,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, of course, Facebook, it opens the whole world up to everything,
It does. I talked to Lyle Atkins every once in a while, not as much the last year, but we took him out 2 years in a row and we videotaped both events, and we stay in contact with him. He's a really super guy, and he does a lot of videotaping for an outdoor show, and the friendships you make, there's nothing that'll ever replace it ever. Right. They're just it's priceless. It really is, and everybody's excited to be here, and they're going to drink some beverages, and they're going to shoot the bull outside the motel, and everybody's going to go out and fish tomorrow, and they're going to have a good time. And it's almost like saying goodbye to family when you leave Sunday. And this place, as you both know, when we get going down here at the weigh-in, that's the most amazing thing. I've never seen such a crowd in a fishing event anywhere I've ever been is what they have at the riverfront down there.
It's a good turnout, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. I love it.
It is. It's just so special, and I actually went through one of the deals one time where we had the motorcycle brigade bringing everybody through all the little towns, and people are standing out there waving at everybody. Now, we've been fishing out of the Quincy pool the last couple of years, but that was just unbelievable to go through these places. And the people in these towns, they know you're coming.
Yeah.
And they're out there. They're
lining
ready.
the streets.
You betcha.
Sitting on the front porches waving.
I never seen anything like it. And it's a really cool event, and I like to say we wait from the time we leave here this year, we'll be ready to come back the next time, and if everything works out right, we'll be here for years to come.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, thank you
Hey,
so much. Good luck
you.
tomorrow.
You too.
I hope you have a wonderful time. Catch you a giant fish.
Trying.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Nick Wolf and Nick Harding, two of the fishermen, boater and warrior, that's going to be in the tournament tomorrow. They're going to be fishing for catfish. There's also going to be people that are fishing for bass and crappie at Mark Twain Lake. It's going to be a ton of fun. If you guys get a chance, if you're in the Quincy, Illinois area, come down to the riverfront at the boat ramp. That's where the big event will be. There'll be thousands and thousands of people that come down there for the weigh-in, and it is a huge undertaking. Mindy, sit right down here.
Hi, buddy.
How you doing?
Oh, well,
You know,
crazy today.
I have told people for years, they say, how you get involved with Fishing for Freedom in Quincy? I say, you call Mindy. Whatever question you have, I promise you she can answer it for you.
I'll try.
Well, it's true, though. I mean, there's a lot of people behind the scenes here that do stuff that nobody know about. But you've been doing a lot of this for a lot of years.
This is my 6th year as a volunteer, but my first year that I fished also. So, say 5 years as a solid volunteer.
Solid volunteer for 5 years.
Yep.
And you're fishing?
Not this year.
Okay. But you are going to fish.
Next year, I'm going to fish with you.
That's sweet. We are looking so forward to that because I know how much work you put into this and how much time you put into it and all the stuff that goes through it. And for Cindy and I to have you in the boat with us next year is going to be an honor. I'm just wound up about it. We'll talk about it all year. And, of course, we want to promote the tournament as much as we can to get as many people involved. And Bob told us a while ago, 303 soldiers this year, or warriors?
I don't know the exact number. I think we're at around 208 right now.
208.
For warriors that are fishing, and then we also have boater warriors, which are boaters that are also veterans. And I think we're at around 40 of those this year.
Wow.
So that'd be 248 veterans on the water is what we call it.
That's amazing. That's a major undertaking.
I'm
And
telling you.
how many people do you think that are here tonight just for the dinner? How many people are you expecting for the dinner tonight?
We usually plan for about 900.
Wow.
Those would be Miss Lucia questions over there. She'd be able to answer all your banquet
Lucia?
questions.
Welcome to
Lucia,
Catfish Weekly. How are you?
Good.
I'm glad you could join us. You have the specs for all that kind of stuff, I take it.
Well, sort of. It kind of just happened.
This is such an event. Do you have an idea roughly of how many people that you have involved to make this happen?
A bunch. There's a bunch. We have roughly, what'd she tell me? 850 settings. So we'll have at least try to get
And
that many
volunteer
people
wise,
here.
I think we're at like 60 for
60,
tonight.
something similar to that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
They will serve dinner, clean up, and then help tear down at the end.
Well, just cleaning up and tearing down for 1,000 people is a
It's a
big
job.
deal. You bet.
Setting up is just as big.
I'm not sure, as I didn't grow up in Quincy, but I've been here a lot. But this is one of the greatest facilities you could possibly have this event at.
This is probably the biggest facility in Quincy that we could have this event at.
It is just really nice. It's air conditioned. It's very comfortable in here. Now, I'm hot all the time, so it doesn't really matter. But everything about this and the whole town, and we've talked about this the last two guests, but the whole town is absolutely behind everything that goes on here.
Our community,
And the whole community.
yes, the community supports this event greatly. And we appreciate that out of them.
Now, how big of an area around here supports you guys? It's not just Quincy.
No, it's the surrounding areas as well. We go to Mount Sterling, over to Missouri.
We get to, I would say, 75-mile radius.
I'd say
75 miles.
75 to 100-mile radius, yes.
That's nice.
But then,
Yes.
the shirt came yesterday and some other raffle items from South Carolina.
Mhm.
I mean, so
And the gentleman that owns the company that you're wearing his shirt is a military gentleman. I've talked to him on the phone. We talked to message back and forth about different things, and he's a really good guy. Does a lot for the sport, and you know, he's the right kind of people that needs to be involved with Fishing for Freedom.
right.
You know,
So
and,
I
and
mean, they come from everywhere. We get support from everywhere.
speak up just a little. But you know, there's a lot of other companies that are in not just catfishing, but bass fishing and crappie fishing. And a lot of these companies need to take a look at what you're doing, because short of the Bassmasters Classic, I don't think there's a bigger event where you got more people in the audience watching these weigh-ins than what's right here.
Right. We also, well, we have like crappielures.com. They make crappie lures for us to give to all our warriors. So they're on board, but we don't have any other than Walmart big corporate sponsors.
Well, I've
So we
seen
do
them.
all this with, our small town
It
fellows.
was pretty impressive when we walked over here this afternoon, and there's a Walmart truck sitting in front of here, and they're unloading pallets of water for these guys to take out so they don't get dehydrated tomorrow. That's
It's
pretty
going to be
amazing.
warm tomorrow, so
Yeah.
we have to take care of our
You
our
betcha.
veterans.
That's right. You know, and it was very, very nice out this morning. 2 cups of coffee and I was good to go.
Good. Did
But
you do good?
we never wet a line. We was looking
Oh,
for. We hadn't been here
oh,
yet, so we was
okay.
looking. But hopefully, we found what we was looking for, and we're
Good.
going to have a great time. But it absolutely was beautiful, and other than the water being a little bit high and a little bit of trash in there, everybody just have to pay attention to what they're doing, be safe, and it'll be a great day.
It'll be a great day.
Hey, Miss Lucia, it looks like your Pittsburgh Steelers football has arrived.
Awesome for our live auction.
Nice, nice.
Yes.
I'm not a Steelers fan, but I'm a Terry Bradshaw fan.
I'm sorry, that doesn't mean anything to me.
He might have been a little bit before your time.
No, I've heard the name, but I couldn't tell you who he played for.
Oh, he paid for the Steelers. He was tough in them days. He's the best. In his day, he was the best there was ever. So,
Wow.
and he was a Steeler. And I wasn't a Steeler fan then either, but he's Terry Bradshaw. I mean, that's just the way it is. Well, ladies, thank you for everything that you do. From a boater standpoint, all the stuff that you guys do means so much to everybody. From the warrior standpoint, there's no way that we can thank you enough for everything you all do. It is so important that this event goes on from now till the end of time. And as long as we're going to be able to do it, we're going to be there, and we look forward to it every year. And we're really excited. And thanks again for all the stuff that you put together.
Well, thank you.
And
Lyle, it's going to be a sad day when Lyle and Cindy Stokes can't come and fish this.
well, thank you. But we're able to make it, and we're looking forward to being here every year. Thanks for everything. Appreciate it. We'll get Randall in here and visit with him for just a little bit and see how it's going. How are you doing on time, Randall?
We're doing good. Yes.
Man, what an event you got here.
Let me tell you what. And
you got them.
Yes, we got one heck of a good crew. You know,
really do.
And,
and
the thing is it's just not our crew, but it's like our boaters and even Nick Harding that was on. Nick Harding that was on here earlier. He asked me, he says, "What do you need done?" He's our guest. We're not going to have him do anything. So,
but he's here to do it.
Yeah, So I mean, it takes a lot of people, but we pull it off.
That's right. It's amazing to me the camaraderie, and these guys, they serve together, but they don't know me from Adam, and they don't know the next guy that comes in with a boat. Probably never heard of him before, but when they get in that boat, they're there to have a good time, and those boaters make sure to their best of their ability that those guys get the best shot of catching a fish and having a good time. I never forget, Randall, the first year we come, we met a guy in Louisiana, and he was standing at the bottom of the boat ramp, and I was parked at the top, and everybody left, and they was gone. I didn't know he was down there. He didn't know I was up there, and we missed each other. We got him in the boat, took him out. We had a blast. We followed the motorcycles back all through Illinois and across the River Bridge, the Mississippi River Bridge down in Louisiana, and had a great time. Didn't do any good in the tournament, but the guy just had a blast, and I was hooked.
Well, and and that's what Fishing for Freedom. It's not a money tournament.
Right.
It's all about showing these guys a good time. Because that's what we're all about. We're all about making sure that they come to town. We show them a great time because they give up so much for us, and that's how we want to repay them. And we want to get them back out on the water. And as a lot of fishermen say, we want to get their line wet.
That's right.
And so, the thing is that's how we do it, and it's a great thing.
It really is, and I know all these guys was having a lot of fun last night. They're going to have a lot of fun tonight, and tomorrow they're going to have a blast. And when it's all done, everybody will be ready to go home Sunday night, and they'll be looking forward to next year, just like we will.
Oh yeah, last night we had one heck of a crowd. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, I believe we ran out of food by like 7:00.
No kidding.
Which normally does not happen, but we had quite the crew out there last night. And tonight, I mean, I wish we could kind of span around this room and let everybody see what this hall looks like, because
we can do that.
We are gonna have a crowd in here tonight.
Cindy, come around here and take the video camera and just turn it as we talk. Turn it around the entire room and show everybody what we got going all the way around here. Just point it over. Loosen the thing up. Yeah, there you go. Loosen that up and start over there and just pan around here so everybody can see what we got going. But that fish fry event that you guys had out there at Eagles Club last night was amazing.
Yes,
and Andy Sanders told me, he said, "Man, we got more food than we've ever had before, but you still run out."
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, we had, in fact, I don't even know if it was a boater or a warrior, but he come up towards the end of the night and he says, "Hey, you guys got any takeouts?" Because man, he says that fish was awesome. I want to take some back to the room and eat it later. And you know what? Fabulous. I think they actually came up with one container for him. So it was a great night last night. Not only weather-wise, but all the guys and all the boaters and warriors out there. It was just a fun night.
Now it just wasn't about dinner and signing up. You guys had trap shooting and archery shooting.
Yes,
all kinds of stuff going on for these guys.
Yeah, we try to throw some fun things in there for them to do, while they're out there. And I mean, this is a fishing tournament, but the thing is that it's all about getting them back out in the outdoors. Well, archery, trap shooting. I mean, that's all outdoor, so I mean, that's just something else that we can, get them to go do and have fun with.
Well, a lot of these guys travel a long way. So if you can put together 2 or 3 days of just pure fun, why not do it?
Yeah, and the funny thing is that after we were done there, we went down to the dock, which is a local bar that we threw a kind of a country music concert at for them. And I stood and I talked to an Army, retired Army, and he's from Indiana. And he's 37 years old. And man, I could have talked to that guy all night long. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And this is his first year, and he just thought it was awesome.
It is, like I say, it's sort of like going out the first time you ever go fishing for whatever fish, and you catch a giant, you're hooked. Well, Fishing for Freedom Quincy is like that. The first time you go out, you're hooked, and you'll always be back.
Oh yeah, and Lyle, I can't tell you guys, I can't say thank you to you guys enough, you and Cindy, because coming over here and doing a live show kind of tickles my innards. I mean, it's awesome.
We're so happy to be able to do it.
I know that we kind of talked about it last year and that, but by finally getting to do it this year is awesome. I mean, it's,
what we need to do, Randall, is as soon as this is over, we need to start planning for the next one, because the show, as with the event, needs to grow. And I would like to have it next year to where we start out, say, in the morning sometime and get as many of these guys that want to be on Catfish Weekly on there, because believe me, as far as I'm concerned, they've earned the right to be there.
Oh yes, and that's great. I mean, I'm up for, a 3 or 4 hour show if you think you could talk that long.
Well, I was hoping that Chuck was going to be able to make it this year, and things didn't work out to where he could. But I will work on Chuck and Doc, because he has a certain amount of vacation time, like all of us do.
Oh, yes.
But if we could get Chuck to come up and to do part of a show with us, if he ever shows up here, you won't be able to keep him away, and he has a fishing buddy of his that is retired military, and Tony went through some bad times. He was in some severe casualties over there, but he is just the greatest guy you ever want to meet, and those two need to be at this event.
And I think we talked about that on one of the shows with him. So I mean, that would be great to get those guys here. And,
Absolutely,
and really enjoy having them.
It'll be a great time. Well, Randall, thank you for everything that you do. And I can't wait. Once this is over, we'll be making plans for next year, and we'll make it happen.
I'm just a small part in a very big picture.
I understand.
And, without you and all of our volunteer boaters, like I told you before, this doesn't happen. So we greatly appreciate what you guys do for us.
Little bitty parts work together.
That's
we
right.
make the big wheel.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Talk to you soon. We got some old buddies coming in here for just a minute to visit with us. Some guys, some of you people will know these guys from way back, and some of you won't. Chris Cordia and his son Steven, fish tournaments. How long ago has it been? When we started all this stuff out with Twisted Cat Outdoors way back yonder, how long has that been?
Well, let's see. He was old enough to get up in the scuttle hole of my John boat.
Yeah.
Steven used to go around check live wells for us at the tournaments, and the guys would look at him like, what are you doing? You're only this tall. Well, he's not that tall anymore. He's an adult.
Yeah. I guess it's been 10 years.
At least.
At least 10 years.
At least.
Yeah.
I was hoping that JD was going to be with you. I know he had fished with you before, and things happen where you can't always be here, but maybe we can get JD up here next year. I would love to get JD and Keith and all of us together. If we could all make it up here next year, what an event that'd be. Now, you probably not remember Keith, do you?
No, not really.
He's big. He's not as big as JD, but he's close. Just about as full of it, though. So that's what it is. But man, we started out a long time ago, and we fished a lot of fish. I remember a tournament in Clarksville where you was running for points and actually got hung behind the dam and carried a flathead down the railroad tracks to weigh in.
It was the last points tournament up there that we had for Twisted Cat. And I knew there was somebody that was going to be right up there with me. And so we had locked through, and when we got behind some pushers and moving through, and they're like, well, we're trying to get you through, but we don't know. So I looked up the rules and called and made sure it was good. As long as you're here by the ramp at weigh in time. So I grabbed a 5-gallon bucket and put a flathead in it, and I walked probably, I don't know, it had to be half a mile.
Oh, it's further than that.
Carrying 40 pounds worth of fish and water.
I'll never forget that. That was quite a deal, but it paid off for you. It really did. It paid off.
Yeah.
Them was a different times in tournament catfishing than what we're doing today.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You and JD and Steven fished out of the old boat that Bob Root has now, and now you've got a big nice Sea Arc, and it's just a different time. And in those days, a lot of times we go out in a tournament and you want to catch 5 channel cat. If you had 5 channel cat, you probably was going to be all right.
Yep.
But now 5 channel cat below Keokuk probably not going to do you much good.
No.
It'd have to be really good channel cat. Now you get above Keokuk, you're fishing for channel cat, and that's fine because I dearly love those tournaments.
Sure.
The weigh-ins are close, and everybody's catching a lot of fish, so they're a great event. But
basically, anytime you got 5 fish during the tournament, you were in good shape.
You're pretty good.
You were in pretty good shape.
That's fact. Now, Steven, you want to tell us about the fish you caught the other day up here pre-fishing?
Well, I wouldn't say that I caught it.
Oh. Oh, well, let me rephrase it. How about the fish that you had your picture taken with the other day?
Yeah, it's probably more close to what it was, actually.
How big was it?
40 plus.
40 plus.
Had to been.
That's a
Had
giant
a nice
fish.
belly on it.
Good
Nice
deal.
blue.
Now, if you guys can put one of those in the boat tomorrow and 3 or 4 little fish or smaller fish, don't have to be little, they can be
Yeah.
smaller,
Yeah.
That's right.
you'll be in good shape.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully.
So, do you remember where you released that fish?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a secret, though.
Well, you know, here's the thing. You know, a lot of people think that those fish, if you catch them, they won't bite again for a while. Now, personally, I don't believe that, because if you ever catch a nice fish and you put it in a live well full of your bait, when you go to get your bait out, you'll have ate it all. That's happened to me. And I'm telling you, that sore lip, if they're hungry, they're going to eat.
Oh,
That's just the way
I
it
agree.
is.
It's any fish.
Yep, it is.
You know,
But
and, you know, and them blues, they'll hang around in a hole for a while, but they move, they migrate, and they'll get tired of one spot and move on to the next.
especially on this Mississippi River, where you have a dam here and a dam here. Now, right now, all the dams are open, but when they start closing those down,
Oh yeah,
them fish will travel from one dam to the next overnight.
that's
It doesn't take them that long to go up and down through there, and you're only looking at an 8 or 10 mile stretch.
right.
So, the fish that you mark in the morning of the first day, the second day, they're liable to be plumb down at the head of the next dam. Wherever the feed's at, and they'll feed one area and rest another area. So there's a lot of variables, a lot of variables.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and we're all going to have a good time. This is, how many years have you been up here, Chris?
Well, I missed last year, but this is my 3rd year that I've been up here, and it gets bigger and better every year. It's an amazing event. I just come up here to have fun and support the military for what they do, and really just enjoy life a little bit for a weekend. Have
Heck
some
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Well, and you and Steven get to spend a little quality time together without the girls.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Now, you saying that, aren't you afraid Tori will come up here and put a knot on your head?
Oh, she ain't coming up here.
She's not. Well, maybe she'll do it when you get home.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I would think it'd be a lot of fun if you brought Tori one year.
Oh yeah.
If Steven decides he don't want to come up sometime.
Yep. Oh, that'd be great.
Oh yeah,
She's a hoot too.
absolutely, good girl.
We started fishing with her for a little while there, and
Mhm.
of course, girls change sometimes and get away from things. She's very competitive.
Oh yeah.
But she likes to keep on catching fish. She's more on the crappie than she is the catch.
Faster action.
Faster action.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
and
yeah.
it don't matter.
Now Steven, he likes to catch them bass, so he must
Yes,
like
he
that
does.
fast action too.
Yep.
Well, one thing you can always bear in mind, Steven, those big bass that you catch that are about like this, that's just a snack to that blue you caught the other
Yeah.
day.
Right by that.
There might have been one in his belly.
There might have been.
That's
There
right.
might have been. Well, guys, thanks for coming up, and thanks for jumping in the show with us. We're going to take a little break, and then we're going to get some other guys in here and do another round. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure seeing you.
Chris, thanks for coming up and helping these
Absolutely.
guys out.
Yep.
We'll be back here in just a little bit. We're going to take a little break, and we'll do the next round here just shortly. So stay tuned to Catfish Weekly.